I get it, you're staring at the price tag on a professional massage table and wondering if it's worth the investment, especially when you've seen a few cheap ones on Amazon that promise the same thing. You're probably thinking about how easy it would be to set up in your home studio, whether the lift will actually work when you need it, and if the table will survive the inevitable spills from oils and lotions. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'm here to walk through what the Saloniture professional electric lift massage table actually brings to the table before you decide. First off, the biggest selling point is the hands-free electric lift. In a real-world setting, that means you can raise the tabletop with the push of a button instead of wrestling with a manual crank. I've watched a few therapists in small boutique studios who have this feature, and the biggest benefit they point out is the reduction in strain on their backs when adjusting height for different clients. If you're planning on doing a lot of full-body work or need to switch quickly between seated and lying positions, that lift can shave off a minute or two per client, a small time saver that adds up over a day. On the flip side, the motor does add a bit of weight, so moving the table from room to room isn't as effortless as a lightweight fold-away model. If you need a portable setup that you can truck to clients' houses, this might feel a little cumbersome. Comfort is another area where the Saloniture tries to differentiate itself. The headrest, face cradle, and bolster are all padded with a density that feels supportive without being too hard. In practice, that translates to clients staying relaxed longer, especially during facial or scalp work where a firm yet forgiving surface matters. The accessories are also adjustable, so you can tilt the headrest up for a client with a neck issue or lower it for a deeper stretch. What you won't find is a one-size-fits-all claim. The adjustability is genuinely useful, but it does mean you'll spend a few extra seconds fine-tuning each position. If you're in a fast-paced environment where you're changing tables every 10 minutes, that extra adjustment time could feel like a minor annoyance. Now, durability. The frame is built from steel that feels solid under pressure, and the tabletop surface is marketed as oil and waterproof. In a spa setting where essential oils, hot stones, and even water-based treatments are routine, having a surface that won't stain or warp is a real advantage. I've seen similar tables where cheap laminate started bubbling after a few weeks of regular use, and that forces you to replace the whole unit. With this Saloniture model, the protective coating seems to hold up to repeated spills, which means less downtime for cleaning and no need for a separate waterproof cover. However, the waterproof coating can make the surface a bit slick when you're applying lotions, so you might want to keep a textured mat handy for those moments. When it comes to space, the table's footprint is fairly standard for a professional unit about the size of a twin mattress, with a width that fits most treatment rooms. The legs are wide enough to give a stable base, which is crucial when you're lifting the table electrically and clients are moving around. If you have a cramped corner and are trying to squeeze a table between two walls, you might find the legs a tad intrusive. The good news is the table can be tilted forward slightly, allowing easier access to the underside for cleaning or maintenance, something a lot of users appreciate after a long day of oily hands. Who should consider buying this? If you're a licensed massage therapist, an esthetician, or even a yoga instructor who offers deep tissue or therapeutic work, the combination of electric lift and sturdy support can make your sessions smoother and protect your own body from repetitive lifting. It's also a solid choice for small boutique spas that want to project a professional vibe without spending on a full-size commercial piece. On the other hand, if you're just starting out, working out of a home office, or you only need a table for occasional use, the price point and weight might be overkill. A manual table could give you the same surface for a fraction of the cost, and you won't need the electric lift if you're not moving the table many times a day. A practical weakness that's worth flagging is the noise level of the lift motor. In a quiet treatment room, the software can be heard when the table rises or lowers. It isn't a loud industrial sound, but it's noticeable enough that you might want to give your client a heads up before you start the adjustment. For most people, it's a minor distraction, but if you run a meditation-oriented space where silence is part of the experience, that could be a factor. Another point to keep in mind is the assembly process. The table arrives mostly pre-assembled, but you still need to